All right, the prosecution in the Alex Murdaugh murder trial rested its case. They made a lengthy 3-hour closing argument. Now, as a general rule, is more better? No. It's about punctuation points. It's about painting a picture. It's about being specific. It's about repeating the messaging that matters. Did they check those boxes? NewsNation can now report that one juror actually fell asleep, maybe for as long as 10 minutes. Is that unheard of? Nope. But like I said, more is not always better. Some are saying this was the moment that might have kept them awake.
He said so many witnesses are lying on him. They're all lying on him. But the one thing we know is a constant is that he lied to them. Mark Tinsley's lying. Jeannie Secondger's lying. Shelley Smith is lying. Blanca's lying. Everybody's lying on the master liar.
All right, let's bring back the better minds. We got Eric Bland, Sara Azari, and Mark Geragos. So, look, Geragos, the guy's a liar. He lies about everything that matters, and you can give a lot of different reasons why. He even lied about some of the timeline and the details of the double murder itself. He's a liar. Why may that not be enough for the prosecution, no matter how many times they hammered that nail?
Well, look, the 3 hours after a 6-week trial, that seems to be, the last couple of 6-week trials I've done, that's prosecution almost always is arguing for 3 hours. And I will tell you, in most of those, there is a juror or two who falls asleep. You know, the human mind has been so conditioned to kind of block out 50-minute segments based on traditional network drama that I think we can't get away from that. But I will tell you this, the problem with this, he's a liar, is I assume tomorrow the defense is going to get up and say, well, that's great. You can call him all the names you want. You can say he's despicable. You can say he's a liar. But there's only one problem. They haven't explained the 2 guns. They haven't explained the lack of blood spatter evidence. They haven't explained any of the anything besides a timeline, basically a hypothetical timeline. And the problem is going to be that a juror, and the prosecution pointed this out today, you have to have a abiding conviction. You've got to believe and not have any regrets. I find it hard to believe on a case like this with the kind of evidence that was presented that you're going to find 12 jurors who are going to agree and say to themselves, just like what the prosecutor asked them, I don't have a doubt and I'm not going to hesitate. I just find that hard to believe.
And Eric, you can believe it, and why?
Well, I think that the jurors are going to use their God-given common sense, that Alex did not say, oh, to the police, I should have gone down to the kennels. Why did I do it? I'm racked with guilt. Why didn't he keep a reward out there without an expiration date? Why hasn't he searched or hired people? He certainly has enough money to hire Harpootlian. Why hasn't he hired investigators to find out the real killers? So, you know, certainly the FBI has put out their confidential informants to try to find out any evidence or anything that could indicate that there were other shooters. Nothing has come up. So I think what it's going to come down to, again, it's a referendum on Alex because he took the stand. And I differ with Mark a little bit that it's going to be a lot of argument in that jury room about Alex. Do we give him the benefit of the doubt? You know, is it enough that I come when the devil's at the door, I'm now telling you the truth, or do they have to look at his history of lies?
Sara, your experience is extensive when it comes to trials and juries. If there is a brawl in the back room, if there's a real hot dispute or several disputes going on, what does that portend in terms of outcome?
Well, I think the jurors, you know, the jury deliberations is a dynamic between these 12 people. And it just, I think it tells me that they're disagreeing maybe, they're struggling with some facts, they have questions. It could be a litany of things. But Chris, just to Eric and Mark's point about the credibility, you know, I think the biggest lie in question here is the kennel lie. And I think the defense is going to put that into context. The context that while he was repeatedly lying to agents, he was also pressing them for what he believed was exculpatory evidence, the GPS data data, the cell data. He believed that would, be exculpatory to him. So that's going to have to be put into context. And also, credibility is not just limited to the defendant's testimony. It goes both ways always, right? So Captain Phone Tosser, the experts that testified, Agent Owens, who used, in his own words, trickery on the grand jury. I mean, these are all credibility issues for this jury.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.